Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So I'm going to be showing you how I made the bustier part of this gorgeous dress. If you want to know how to make the cape, please drop a comment in the comment section and let me know if you're interested in watching that. Now let's get into the video. So this is the basic bodies. As you can see, I've drafted out the bust point, the under bust and the waist. As you can see, you can also see the neckline. So now we're going to go ahead and work on the nipple to nipple point. For this dress, I'm going to be using 3.5 because the nipple to nipple point is 7. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this on all the horizontal lines, as you can see. So now if you want to extend the line, you're going to start from the neckline. This will determine how deep you want your neckline to be. So as you can see, the neckline I use here is 4x4, but that is too high. So I'm going to use between 6 and 7. So as you can see, I marked 6.5. Then when I'm going to move on to the center point now, and I'm going to mark 7.5 for the depth. So this is going to create a soft sweetheart neckline. It's not too deep. I don't want it to be too deep to expose the bust, but I just wanted a soft sweetheart neckline. So I'm going to go ahead and join the lines. As you can see, you can decide to come down from the initial 6.5, or you can actually come down to up to 10 inches on the armhole. So as you can see, from the center point to the nipple to nipple point, I'm joining them together, as you can see. So now remember that we use 6.5. I'm going to go back to the armhole and also mark 6.5 because I don't want it to be too deep. I don't want it to expose the bust, so I'll just leave it at that range, as you can see. So now we're going to go ahead and mark the darts. I'm going to be using 0.75. I'll mark it on either sides of the line. I'm going to go ahead to the under bust and mark 1 inch on either sides of the line. So if you're a very busty person, I suggest you use 1.5, and if you are not so busty, you can use just 1/2 inch on either sides. So I'm going to go ahead and join these points together. As you can see, this point to this point. So now I'm going to create a curve from the 0.75 inch we marked all the way down to the 2 inches. So ensure that the curve hits the nipple point, the bust point rather. So you can see as I'm trying to ensure it's a very smooth curve. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. If you have any questions, do well to drop them in the comment section, and if you are yet to subscribe, please subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications so that when I post new videos, you will get notified. I've joined the points and I've created the sweetheart neckline, and I've also taken in the darts. So now what we're going to do is to replace all the darts we've taken. So the first thing we're going to do is to measure this up part, and 0.75 plus 0.75 is 1.5. So we are going to extend the line by 1.5. We're going to head on to the waist, and we took in 1 inch on either side, and when we measure it, that is 2 inches. So we're going to mark 2 inches. We're also going to replace the inches we took in from the chest line. So you can see I've extended it by 1/2 inch because that is what was sticking out of it. So now we're going to join the points together. Now we're going to work on the yoke part of the bustier. As you can see, it has to be a diagonal line, as you can see. So you can actually use 1 inch or 1.5 inches away from the dart you've taken. So after marking that, you are going to join it to your neckline. So it's always advisable that your neckline is between 3 to 4 inches so that it can actually create that diagonal line all the way to your bustier. As you can see, everything that was subtracted from the bustier was added back to it on the side seams. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out now. So this is the sweetheart neckline and this is the yoke. So now I'm going to be taking in a dart on the yoke. We're going to, from that point, we're going to go up by half an inch. So I'm going to mark half an inch up and I'm going to join it to the armhole part of the yoke. This is to prevent excess fabric because it's a yoke. If you don't subtract from the yoke, you'll notice that it will end up becoming excess when you wear the dress. This will give a proper fitting and will hold the bustier in place. The next thing we're going to work on to make a better fitted bustier is to remove the bust dart. So from this bust point line, we're going to go down by 1 inch. As you can see, I marked 1 inch. And we're going to join a straight line all the way to the bust point. As you can see. After joining the lines, I'm going to go ahead and use scissors to cut through one of the lines. And then I'm going to glue this together with a gum. The essence of doing this is to create a better fitting bustier. You don't necessarily need to do this, but you know how nice looking some bustiers look. This is how they make it look good. Whenever you remove a bust dart, ensure that it also corresponds to the back piece. So if your shoulder to waist is 16, your back piece has to be 15. So we're going to go ahead and create a basque waistline because the cloth is kind of simple. The dress that I made is kind of simple, but I just wanted something to make it look classy and unique. So I'm going to be creating a basque waistline for the dress. As you can see, I'm going to align the pieces properly. After aligning the bustier pieces properly, we're going to head on to the center front and go down by 4.5 inches. You can actually go down by 4 inches, but I prefer to do 4.5. So I'm going to join this to the waistline with a straight line. This is now our basque waistline. So we're going to replicate what we did on the original pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and mark the dart line. And I'm going to draw a straight line, as you can see. Then I'm going to go over this and cut this out. So you can see how the basque waistline will also add a unique design to the dress. So this is me going ahead to work on the back piece of the dress. So there's just something I want to draw your attention to. One thing with removing a bust dart, it means that whatever you're doing at the front has to be worked on the back piece as well. So when I was drafting the shoulder to the waist measurement of the back piece, I subtracted 1 inch from it. This means if for your front piece you used 17 inches for your shoulder to your waist point, when you are drafting your back piece, you have to make it 1 inch shorter. And making it 1 inch shorter means you're going to make it 60 inches. So as you can see, you see that the side pieces of my bustier and the back piece are even. So please take note of these when you are doing yours. Thanks for watching my video. If you want to see how to sew this, drop a comment in the comment section and let me know. See you in my next video.